Hi guys, and welcome to a special episode, a Friday episode, a random Kimo special episode. The reason being, Brook, Golovkin has been announced. I've got Daniel, Lim, Kimo obviously, and Leon on the line with me. I'll go to Leon first because he has been given 5 minutes to get his salt off his chest. 2 of those minutes have been used up already during the intro. So Leon, salt away.
It's a terrible look for Triple G. I mean, it's a bad fight for him. But this is how I think it happened. I think Eddie Hearn phoned up Brook and said, "Look, the Eubanks have fucked it. They fucked it all over. I'm sorry, Kel. You're going to have to die." And Brook's been forced into this fight because of that. That seems the most obvious reason for why this fight's been made. So he is taking one for the team, the Matchroom team here. One hell of a beating he's going to take. And I know people I've been hearing people saying, "Oh, what else could Triple G do?" Well, I just think not this. I don't know what it is, but it's not this. For me, it's
anything
not this.
Anything.
Because look, Brook is. I've seen great fights in history, welterweights fighting middleweights, but these have been the top guys, and Brook is not the top guy. If he'd beaten everyone, and this was, or if this had been another great welterweight champion from times gone by, you can understand it. But Brook hasn't earned the right to go for this kind of massive, cross-division fight. He hasn't earned the right for this fight, and it's just it's a sacrifice. It's plain and simple. But props for him for taking it. I mean, it's a fucking crazy move, man. It's a fucking mental move, because he might be a better boxer than Eubank, and the Eubank fight fell through, but he hasn't got the chin of Eubank, and I just don't see how he survives this fight. I mean, is it like, Khan got knocked out, oh, no, what I'll do, I'll go and fucking kill myself in the ring. It just seems like madness, like trying to outdo him all the time. I don't really know what else to say. It's just a mad fight.
Hey, Leon, let me ask you a question, because after the Canelo announcement, I think your tone was a little bit more positive, and it's safe to say that you were a little bit more excited about that fight. So what's the difference here?
I think it was, personally, it felt, even though it was a mismatch, that Khan thing, it felt like a closer fight, closer in size, closer in skill set. This is a huge jump up for Brook. What has he done? I mean, whatever we say about Khan has fought a level of person. Yes, he has lost, but he's been competitive in many, many fights. We can't say the same thing about Brook. He went to war with Carson Jones. Fucking Triple G, I mean, he would kill him. I mean, that would be one of the, so his second best win and his most difficult fight is against someone that Triple G would fucking eat for breakfast. He doesn't deserve. It's a fucking mad thing, because like, your skill set doesn't say you win this fight. It's not like you're stepping up to take a challenge because you've done everything else. You're not Joe Calzaghe moving up after getting the belts and going up a division. It's not that, or all these other great people from times gone by. It's not this. It's a money making thing as well, isn't it? He's cashing himself out, I think.
But Leon, don't you think that in hindsight you got a bit excited about?
Oh yeah.
Canelo, but more because of the shock value of it. It wasn't necessarily like the quality of the fight, right? In the end.
But this is Brook's fucking career. If Brook had done this before Amir Khan, we'd have got more excited. But it kind of like, I've seen this shit before, haven't I? Oh yeah, your main rival did it fucking 3 months ago. You just look like a fucking creepy weirdo stalker. It's like single white female. It's like, I'm going to live my life vicariously through you. I'm going to fucking morph into you. It's just weird, man. But Anyway, what else? Are you excited? Anyone excited about this fight? Really?
I'm
salty, Leon. But what can I say?
I know Cam is.
I just like the shock value. I had to finish late from work today, and like got home and looking at my messages, and like Twitter's blowing up, WhatsApp's blowing up, and I was just shocked. And obviously the fact that I hate Kel is kind of beneficial, because then he's just going to get starched by Triple G, so that'll put a big smile on my face. As for a fight, it's pretty, it's pretty poor fight, because we criticised Canelo bringing Khan up, to 155, but Kel's going all that way to 160, and Triple G's a career middleweight. It's a bad look, man, for Triple G, to be fighting Kell Brook. Fair enough, there was negotiations with Eubank, but there's other directions that Triple G can go. He looks really bad for this, bringing up a welterweight.
Sorry, Cam. Just to say quickly, it's like I've always stuck by Triple G stay at 160, but once you start tracking people up, it's time to move yourself. Really, it must be. We've been big supporters of him, but if you're dragging a man up 2 weight divisions, that means that division's over for you, doesn't it?
What makes me laugh, though, is just off topic. When negotiations between Triple G and Eubank Jr. looked, concrete, people started coming out of the woodwork. Oh yeah, Jacobs is saying, yeah, I'll fight Triple G next, soon as he looks like he's got a fight lined up. And it's just a shame. I prefer Jacobs versus Triple G over Brook for the wow factor, and it's in the UK, and I'll try and get tickets. Yeah, I like the fight, but it's not competitive at all for me.
Lim, you wanna give your take, or you want to go first?
Leon only got 5 minutes, man. I want to give him all the time.
No. You guys go. I can steal a few more minutes.
But first and foremost, let's just give a collective shout out to Ruth. Thank you so much for giving us 5 minutes of Leon's time. We really appreciate that. Yeah, hey, and also, Lyft over Uber all day, Leon. Just get that through your head, all right? But yeah, if I can, I don't know. I've been pretty hard on Triple G's level of opposition for quite a while now. So this is just the nail in the coffin. This is a pretty awful look, and like Leon mentioned, if you have to drag someone up 13 pounds to get a fight with you, that's ludicrous. And I think lastly, this isn't a valid reason for you to fight someone just because the other guy that you were initially supposed to fight withdrew from negotiations. That's no reason whatsoever. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So just because I agree with someone based on principle and that person drops off, I have to then fight whoever is affiliated with that person? That makes absolutely no sense. Even fighting the number 100 ranked guy at 160 is a better lick than fighting Kell Brook, even if Kell Brook is better than that fighter, just because of the fact that you have to, again, drag this guy up 2 full weight classes. And to me, this is worse than Canelo versus Khan, because Canelo, let's all face it, he was never the guy at 160. We all knew that. He fought all 3 of his middleweight fights at 155 pounds. So it was a sham to begin with. Triple G's been established at that weight class for 4 years now, and he's fighting a guy who has never even fought at junior middleweight. So this is a fucking farce.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with you guys on this. It's funny. I don't know if you listened to the Sky announcement, and I can never really believe what Hearn says, but he basically stated that this got made in a matter of 24 hours. And that he was in touch with Triple G's team anyway, and that it was actually Brook who proposed to do the fight. So they kind of just dropped whatever they were doing and suddenly, made an offer to Triple G, and they took it, which is fucking crazy, man. I was out for dinner when I fucking looked at my phone, and all of a sudden I saw this shit, and my girl was asking me what's going on, and I'm like, I don't even know how to explain this shit. Boxing has become some sort of fucking Game of Thrones times puzzle, man. It's just crazy, dude. Why is fucking Brook fighting Triple G?
Hey, Kimo, let me ask you a question. You have quite a relationship with Eddie Hearn, and I think Eddie Hearn is actually the best promoter out there right now. I think he's pretty intelligent, and I think he's measured in the way he deals with these kinds of situations. But with that being said, just because your fighter asks you for this fight, why the fuck would you greenlight this fight? This could ruin Kell Brook's career. He may never fight again after this fight based upon how much of a damage he takes in September.
Yeah, it's a good point, Lynn, because there's also a bit of hypocrisy from Hearn. And actually, if you listen to the interview with Kugan Cassius, he kind of subtly asked him this question. He's like, well, you were criticizing Khan moving up in weight, saying that he's going to get knocked out, and what's there to gain from this fight? But you're doing the same thing for your guy now. I mean, looking at it from Brook's perspective, yeah, he keeps the belt, and he can always come down again and defend that belt, but you don't come out of this fight, unless you take a dive or something like that. You don't come out of this fight unscathed, like you're going to take a fucking vicious beating. And, if you're looking at the fight itself, I mean, I don't see how this is going to be brutal. No,
is there anything he can do?
He's going to take a few jabs to the nose, and we know Brook's nose, that shit's going to fucking get busted up. And then it's a matter of, okay, how much punishment is he going to take before it can fold? And I never really thought Brook was that durable of a guy. I mean, we've seen that, like you said, in the Carson Jones fight. So this is going to be a swift and brutal beatdown. There's no fucking way that he's going to stay away from Golovkin for
the way I see it. The way I see it is it's going to be like an abbreviated version of the Martin Murray beatdown. This is going to be quicker, and all that brutality condensed into fewer rounds.
It's going to be all that body work as well. He's going to smash him up to the body, I think, because he won't be able to handle those body shots. I mean, a welterweight taking those body shots. I mean, whatever we say about Macklin, he's a tough guy, and he got fucking folded in half. Have you ever seen anything like that before, man?
Go on, Dan.
I was going to say, is this a new caller on the line?
Yeah, and then Nyota just jumped on.
Yeah, I get.
Hey,
Guys,
Cam, we got his introduction.
I'll get to Hamada in a second. I just want to quickly ask, the fact that Brook is a bit of a sick note and he gets injured quite frequently. I've just got a feeling that, in August, late August, some announcement, Brook's hurt his rib or he's hurt his ankle or some shit, and the fight's off.
Postponement and shit.
But Cam, can you not see that this fight might have been going on for a long while, and that's why he was weighing 250 pounds in the Sky Studio for the Fairman Port fight? Do you not see? Maybe he knew for a long time. Maybe Hearn's just been fucking with the Eubanks all this time.
That's why
and the Eubanks.
I could believe that, to be honest with you, because of that, because of how heavy he's been lately. So
yeah, you can see it, couldn't you?
It can. I think if that does happen, I think Eddie Hearn will just look to his 135-pound champion at Matchroom and just make Anthony Corolla fight Triple G.
It is funny you said that, Lim, because it doesn't really make business sense if you think about it. I mean, he's been so hell-bent on fucking Brook becoming a pay-per-view star, like he almost delusional, like he's just, he's putting him on a pedestal, which he's not, he's no Joshua, and he never will be, but from a business perspective. Maybe you just answered
your own question. Maybe you just answered the question yourself.
Before Khan Canelo, a lot of people, including myself, said, it's almost a win-win for Khan because people expect him to lose, so, and he's making a shitload of money, and when he does lose, he still comes out the fight relatively kind of unscathed. Not obviously.
Well, he didn't though.
Not injury-wise, but I mean in the sense of losing to Canelo's not a hit on your resume really, because you kind of expected to lose to Canelo. Is the same? Does the same apply here with Brook? Like if he loses to Golovkin, people are going to say, "Well, it was Golovkin he was expected to lose." Do you think that's why? Do you think that's why Hearns kind of pursued the fight?
Let's be real here. Amir Khan is 10 times bigger than Kell Brook. So he could come back from it because of who he is and where he stands in the game, But Kell Brook not done enough to take this mad risky fight. Do you know what I mean? It's just like this could be. You could very quickly fall. This is like a team getting relegated from the Premiership and falling right down, just falling through the leagues. It could quite easily happen for him.
But
anyway,
I disagree. My bad, Leon. What were you going to say?
I've got to shoot off, guys. So I just wanted to say. Thanks for the call, and the Eubanks have horribly let me down, and they don't come out of this well at all, the mad bastards.
All right, thank you,
Leon. Have a great weekend.
See you later, Daniel. Bye.
Bye. And bye, Ruth.
Enjoy your time. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
All right, that's enough now. It's getting a bit creepy. And Naoto, you got anything else you want to add?
Hold on. Let me just make one rebuttal to what Leon said. I think what he brought up was fair in terms of Amir Khan's popularity, but even then, I think that's a little bit exaggerated. But I think the key difference here is that Amir, when he fought Canelo, he had blemishes, major blemishes at that in his resume, did he not? Whereas Kell Brook, I mean, he's at the peak of his powers, which isn't saying much, I understand that, but he really doesn't have any noticeable blemishes on his career. Like, this is the kind of prime position that he's going to be at in terms of his ranking in the boxing world, so to speak. So this is entirely different. You know, this is a fighter who, at this moment of his career, is just he's at a place where he can fully establish himself as a top guy at welterweight. So the added risk that he's undertaking is even that much more amplified than what Amir Khan was going through against Canelo.
Yeah, it's that much more necessary.
But to play devil's advocate to that, if he fights Golovkin, loses, comes back down to welterweight, which would probably be extremely hard because he's a fat bastard.
Yes.
He could still have a Porter rematch or a Thurman unification, or...
I agree.
I don't think he's seeing welterweight again, though.
I agree. I think if he goes up that high, he's going to find it difficult to boil down to 47 again.
I think there is a chance he goes back down to welterweight, but I think he's going to get fucking obliterated against Triple G. and when you take a beatdown of that magnitude, I find it extremely hard to get back to the peak of your powers. You know, I mean, it's one thing to get completely knocked out, like, say, a Manny Pacquiao, but I think Kell is going to get just fucking smashed on for 6 to 8 rounds, and he's never going to be the same afterwards.
I think they're going to need Howard Foster for this.
No, yeah, Howard Foster or Ian John Lewis are going to, just stop the fight after 30 seconds.
Yeah. Damage by accumulation is so much worse than just a one-punch knockout. And I think it really does change fighters, and it changes their ability to throw punches, and it impacts their reflexes in a way that a one-punch knockout doesn't do. So that's why I'm confused, man. I really don't understand why the fuck Eddie Hearn would green like this. It makes no sense. Zero.
I think Brook has bought a second home, and he wants to pay off the mortgage. Let's get to Hamada. Hamada, what's your thoughts on this random announcement on a Friday evening?
Yo, good evening, guys.
Eddie Hearn's a cunt.
Yo, what's going on, boys?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
What's up?
Not much. Just
hey, I heard you got your contract with the Warriors, Hamada. Is that true?
Who?
I heard you got your contract for £4 with the Warriors. Is that true?
£4.
You're getting paid £1 a year, man.
Anyways, I'm still shocked, man. Like, I don't believe this, man. I think
from Durant. Which one?
I think this is just a troll, man. Brook's not fighting GGG.
Yo, I saw that on Twitter, man, but it's for real, man. Come on.
Nah,
it's not
man.
a troll.
I don't think it happens, man. I think something's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't know why. I just think, like, Brook's literally rolling the dice here. Like, he's undefeated, he's world champion, and then to jump up 2 full weight classes, because Khan didn't jump up 2 full weight classes. Khan just jumped up 1 and 1 pound, really. And Canelo's really, he fights at light middleweight, but he's really, obviously we know how big he is in that bar. Brook's going all the way up to 60 to fight Gennady, but I don't know, man. He's really rolling the dice, man. And I feel sorry for him because he's gonna get well paid, but he's gonna get beaten the hell out of him. I mean, Triple G is the type of guy, he beats you up for 6 or 7, 8 rounds. He's not gonna take you out in the first round 1 pound. He's just gonna slowly batter you, and I feel sorry for him. He won't be the same after this.
Exactly.
You know, it's actually true what you said, Hamada, because Triple G, he said it before, and I actually kind of buy into it, that he likes to put on a show for the people, you know, and he's going to be there in the UK for the first time. I mean, he's going to be a sadistic motherfucker, man. He's going to take his sweet time.
The thing about Triple G is that he's such a fucking beast that he knocks people out on accident. When he fought Marco Antonio
Yeah,
Rubio, trust me, he was trying to carry Marco Antonio Rubio, and then he just punched him accidentally in a very weird spot on his temple, and he just knocked him out on accident. That's the best that Kell Brook.
Even Gil as well. I think even the Gil knockout, I think he knocked him out by accident as well.
Just think about how crazy that sounds, man. Somebody knocked someone out on accident. Like that's just crazy to me. So
That's a mismatch.
I give Kell full props, though, honestly. I actually didn't give Khan too much credit when he went up to fight Canelo. But for me, if you're Peter Quillen, if you're Danny Jacobs, if you're Billy Joe Saunders, how do you look at yourself in the mirror when this guy at welterweight is willing to take a step up and fight the scariest man in all of boxing? Like, what do you say to yourself?
But Lim, that's such a weird reality, isn't it? I mean, how on earth are we getting a fucking welterweight? I mean, if you think about it, it's crazy, dude. Like, I mean, Danny Jacobs. I mean, I haven't really gone after this guy, right? And I understand, like he is the miracle man, yada yada yada. I'm fucking done with that shit.
Fuck that, man. I never gave a fuck about that.
He's a fucking coward, dude. That fucking tweet after the Eubank negotiations started, like to say that he will take him on, like, dude, you are a fucking bitch, man. That was like, just if you're gonna duck him, just keep quiet.
The funny thing is, Kimo, like 2 weeks before, he was saying, "Yeah, I'll probably fight Golovkin in 1.5 years." And soon as Golovkin looks like he's got a fight signed, I want to fight Golovkin next.
And you guys, you know why this Kell Brook fight is taking place? It's because all of these fucking pussies at 160 aren't willing to sign the fucking contract. That's why.
Tell KH that, man. KH thinks otherwise.
Well, I mean, KH is I guess they're personal friends, and to me, that's fine. Like, if I was Danny Jacobs' personal friends, I'd be absolutely elated that he survived cancer and he's making these big ass paydays fighting these nobodies. But those are two very different situations right now.
He's saying that Jacobs ain't even ducking. But I don't know, man. He might know more than us, innit? But I don't know.
Well, hey, if he wants to come on and clarify all that shit, I'd be all ears. But from public perception, it definitely seems like he's fucking ducking. And like Cam just alluded to, he said he was going to fight Triple G in a timeline in 1.5 years. And then suddenly, right when the contract supposedly is signed on Twitter, he goes out on Twitter and says, "I want to fight at you right now." It's not a good look, my man.
Just quickly, my view on that situation is I think it purely comes down to the money. Because if you're Jacobs and you're getting a large amount to fight Sergio Mora and Sergio Mora rematch, then you're going to want silly money to fight Golovkin. And it's just this era, of Heyman overpaying certain guys too much, like Danny Garcia and Leo. And that's what's caused, and that's another cause of this issue. But, yeah.
Yeah, no, you took the words right out of my mouth, Cam. That's the whole of it, really, with Danny Jacobs. He's, he gets paid so much for fighting these guys that aren't on Golovkin's level. The amount that he demands for Golovkin is, astronomical. It's way beyond what
let me ask you guys then.
Viable.
The Neota, do you know any idea as to what Kell is going to get paid against Triple G?
No, I don't. But I mean, I could take a guess.
It's going to be pay-per-view, though.
No, he's getting paid in food.
Kebabs.
Chocolate brownies for life.
Chocolate brownie.
Free Nando's. Free Nando's for life.
Cheeky Nando's.
Oh my god, man! Stop saying Nando's.
Definitely.
I'm willing to travel over to the UK just to get me some fucking Nando's.
No, actually,
man.
it's funny that you mentioned that. I was thinking, if this fight does happen and Brook doesn't randomly get injured and call the fight off, I think the day before the fight on the Friday we should have like a TBC appreciation night at Nando's, like £200, £200 for a ticket, and like, you can eat chicken.
What's the cover charge?
Rent a Mazda.
What's the cover charge?
£200, Daniel. But you get a discount.
£200.
You get a discount.
Are you talking about the currency or actual physical weight? Hey, because I might be 200 pounds after that. Jesus, I swear to you, I followed Nando's on Instagram. So every single day when I wake up, I just see Nando's feed of all of their beautiful food.
Yo, you don't
It
have
is
Nando's
really,
in America?
it is really good.
What did you say, Hamada?
Hey, I'm sorry, guys.
You don't have Nando's in the States?
No.
Nah, we don't.
Nah, if I ever go to a Commonwealth country or some shit, man, I'm gonna have to. That's gonna be my first meal.
Yo, they have one in Abu Dhabi too, man. There's one next to my house. 3 of them. That shit is
Damn, right
huge.
next to your house, man. You just be walking over there, huh?
Yeah.
On a camel,
no.
right?
Guys, let me just quickly go to the phone lines.
Jose, it's all about the sexy name.
Jose Triple G
Wow.
is a Triple G is a sexy
Finally,
name.
finally.
A sexy
I
name.
don't
from-
even care about the fight. I'm just glad Cam answered my call, man.
Hey, Cam, dunk on this guy, man.
I don't know. Maybe Dan told you how much of a drunk nuisance I was in New York, and I'm banned from the show. I don't know, man.
It looks
Hey,
like
maybe
come on,
that's
man.
the-
I was just as worse, if not that much worse. So,
Jose.
how you doing, Jose?
Hey, man, I got to stay consistent, man. I'll be the first guy to admit that I shit on Brook. I thought he was a pussy. I didn't believe in his hype. I'm just as excited for this fight as I was for the Con Canelo fight, man. I can't help it. Maybe it's just the casual blood that I carry, man. I love this fight, man. I know I heard you guys kind of shitting on it, saying Triple G's a coward. This is a nice fight, man. This is good. This is the chance for the UK to prove that truly at the top of their game, man. And if Brook wins, this is like amazing, like absolutely amazing.
Jose,
you know?
is it not a huge mismatch though?
No, it's not, man. Like I think like Triple G could fight anybody at 160, and I think personally Brook is better than Eubanks. You know, I think he's better than Billy, like, you know, BJ Saunders, whatever. Like, I want to see this fight, man. I want to see this. I'm gonna fucking go to London, man. I hope I can get tickets. I'm gonna go. Like, I want to be there, man. I want to see this. You know, I think it's the best fight Triple G could fight right now, outside of maybe Jacobs or Quillen. I know that sounds crazy, and I heard you guys just say that, you know, both those guys suck, but I like it. I like this fight. I want to see it. And why can't Triple G do it? Like, who else is he supposed to fight? Nobody wants to fight him.
Jose, don't buy any plane tickets. Don't buy any, tickets to the fight. This fight's not gonna happen.
No, you don't think it's gonna happen?
Nah, look how many times Brooks pulled out of fights injured.
Maybe that's true. I learned my lesson from the Canelo fight. I'm not going to buy any tickets. I don't care if they say they sold out in one day. I'm not going to buy the tickets. I'm going to take my chances on StubHub. But I think it's an event. I always said I wanted to go to the UK for a big fight. To me, outside of Wilder and what's it called, Wilder
Joshua.
and Joshua, this is the biggest fight that the UK could put on the table. Right? Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, but Jose,
Yeah, I mean,
honestly,
it's
I gotta
definitely
ask
up
you,
there
man.
in terms of spectacles.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but what about a real fight? Like, do you honestly think that Brook has a chance here? I'm just a bit baffled by the fact that you said that, because you're talking about 2 weight class difference. You're talking about one of the best fighters in boxing right now. Like, I mean, what kind of underdog would he be? I mean, this is a serious mismatch, dude. How can Brook beat him in the ring?
I don't see this any different than Con Canelo. And for the first 4 rounds, Con was in the fight, man. So, what if Brook just fights a smarter, like, had Con fought a smarter, like, had he had a smarter fight plan, maybe he would have lasted all 12. You don't know. He just got careless.
No. We did know that, Jose. Come on.
Doesn't that tell you how bad Canelo is?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that has to do with us being privy to Canelo's weaknesses in the past. Golovkin hasn't shown those same proclivities in terms of being able to be exploited with regards to, some of the deficiencies that he has in the boxing ring.
The funny thing is,
hold on. But who the fuck picked Khan to win? We all knew he was going to get knocked out.
No, I thought he was going to win. Like, I wanted him to win. Like, I picked with my heart, man. I wanted Khan to win. And for the first 2-3 rounds, I was shocked. I actually thought he had a chance. And boxing is like, no, it's like every other sport, man. Like, look at Iceland. They beat fucking England in soccer, man. Shit can happen. It's not always, the giant doesn't always win. If you have a good game plan and you follow it and you're disciplined, that's why there's upsets in sports, guys, because shit happens.
Yeah, but Jose, let me just borrow on that analogy. This Triple G versus Kell Brook fight, is if like the Iceland U6 team was playing the English adult team.
No, it's not the same, man. Brook's not that
It
big
is.
of a fucking bum, man. It's Iceland versus England, and
I'm not saying
happens.
that. I'm not saying that. It's because of the weight differences, my man. Like when that Canelo fight got announced, I said firmly on the show that even if Canelo and Khan were the same weight class, Canelo would have still knocked Khan the fuck out. And that to me is amplified in this situation. I think if Triple G was a welterweight, he'd still smash on Kell Brook. He's just that much better than him pound for pound, regardless of size.
He's a better fighter. He's way bigger than him, and Brook simply also doesn't have the experience. He's never even fought at 154. Like, how's he going to go up against the best 160 pounder who also happens to be one of the top pound for pound fighters in the world with massive power?
Who else can he fight right now, Kimo, that you'd even give a shit about? That's my question to you right now. Like in 2 months, not because obviously other fighters can't fight for other, fights that they're involved in and other reasons. So for a fighter that can fight right now and a fight that can happen right now, which would you prefer to see? What would you prefer to see Triple G fight instead of Brook?
Look, I've been fairly consistent, and I've changed that tone recently, Jose, because I often said, you know what, fuck it, it's not Triple G's fault that he's getting ducked in his division, right? But slowly but surely, I have changed my mind about it. I'm like, why not? Why not dare to be great? And why not move up in weight? I mean, why not?
I don't see why not.
So, I mean, for me, it's not really even about the names anymore because I'm just fucking tired of it. But I'd rather see Triple G knock a fucking giant out than knock a fucking midget out at this point.
Who, though? You got to say names, though. I'm asking specific names.
I just said that. I don't care about names anymore.
Ramirez was trying to get him, so there's one.
Well, whatever. I really don't care at this point anymore. Like, it's just too much fucking back and forth. He won't fight him. He won't fight him. I don't really care. But if you at least move up in weight, you're gonna have guys that are tougher, that can take his punches better, and that would be more entertaining for me to watch. This is borderline. This is borderline dangerous.
A lot of them were talking about like pound for pound level skills and fighters being just like too great, punching above their weight and all that good stuff. Is when they move up, you really get to see all that shit tested all at once because they're fighting guys that are bigger, faster, stronger, and so on and so forth than what they fought before. So, like, even somebody like a Porky Medina would be like, oh, shit, this guy's going to bring it. He's going to throw 100 punches around at him. He's going to be coming at him stronger than anybody he's ever fought before, all that shit. So, with regards to this is like a total step backwards. It's a total step in the other direction. Now it's like, well, Brook can he even take a punch from the guy?
Yeah.
Man, to borrow words from MV2, I disagree. Like,
I want to see Triple G versus Areola.
You want to see Triple G versus like Butte? Like, would Triple G versus Butte excite you guys more than Triple G versus Brook? Come on, be honest, guys.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, man, not me, man. Not me. I'd much rather watch Triple G versus Brook and see what happens, man. Like, it could be amazing,
Especially the juiced up Butte.
I want to see Triple G versus Jose after 4 shots. That's what I want to see.
Oh man. Well, maybe
honestly, no. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say maybe I'm just naive, maybe I'm stupid, but I just love the idea of the story behind it, man. I love the idea that he's truly an underdog, and it's not just some bum underdog either. It's an underdog who has shown the ability to be great, man. Can he be great against the greatest? That's the question, man. I think that's why we all got hooked in this sport at some point. Is because
like Oscar De La Hoya, man.
Jose.
Jose, I fucking love you.
Sounds like HBO documentaries and shit, like Legendary Nights. Like he would to be great.
Jose,
but isn't that why we watch boxing? Isn't that why we watch it for like the amazing fight? Like otherwise, it's
Jose,
two things are going to happen. Either it's going to be a whitewash, and
by and large, the guy that's daring to be great is supposed to be the underdog guy moving up, as opposed to the other way around.
Yep.
Well, but that's Brook. Brook is the underdog moving up. Like Brook could conquer the boxing world, man, if he wins. Legitimately.
Yeah, but Jose, he's not the established fighter in the division. He's not the one that's undisputed champion.
That makes
Brook
it
has
even
worked
greater.
in the welterweight
Really what I meant to
division.
say.
That makes it
I
even
completely
greater.
fucked up the wording of that.
we were calling Brook a pussy because he's avoiding all these guys and he's being a bitch. And all this time, here we are talking shit about him. He's like, no, he said he would fight Triple G. I don't know.
I give for that, for like, okay, I'm going to fight Triple G, whatever. But at the same time, it's like, he wasn't making fights with all these other guys who were prime welterweights. So it's almost like in the same, area as Khan with regards to that.
No. Doesn't that lead you to believe that there's reason those fights didn't get done? Maybe it wasn't his.
You broke up, Jose.
Jose, you going auto-tune on this, man.
Jose's gone musical.
Yo, is he still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, man. I hate being on Skype because when people call, I get cut out. I'm just saying, did he not prove that he's got the big balls? And so if someone's got the balls, let him die on his sword. Ultimately, man.
Jose,
he's either going to use the sword to.
Jose, can I ask you a question, Jose?
Yeah.
Who's Kell Brook's second best win?
I'm the first guy to say that, honestly, up until right now, this moment, when I saw this fight being announced, I was the first guy to say that Brook was an avoider. Brook was overhyped. Brook was just an imagination of the UK boys, man. That's what I would say. But now, my tune is changing, man. I want Brook to prove me wrong. I want Brook to do something, man. I want to see Triple G challenged. I'm hoping
the new conductor on the Kell Brook hype train.
Yeah, man.
Taking tickets.
That's it. I'm in.
No, but that
Jose. Sorry, go ahead, Lynn.
No. I just go. Ask your question. I want to hear Jose just ramble. I love it.
Well,
Why not? It's one guy being great against another guy who is the great. I don't see why not. You're right. It's the chocolate brownie against the monster at 160. Why not?
Either way, it's going to be fun. Either way, either Triple G is going to murder Brook or Brook's going to do something, outstanding. What's the harm? Either way, we're going to benefit. Either way, we're going to see entertainment, right?
No, because for me, when I saw Khan get absolutely obliterated by Canelo, that didn't sit well with me. And then having to console my brother Cam in my arms, that was not a happy moment.
Well, you should be happy for this one because Cam's gonna be jumping up and down when fucking Brook gets started.
Yeah,
he's gonna be like Cam. He's gonna be like some gladiator in the fucking Roman Coliseum shit.
In all truth, I know Cam respects box too much to celebrate in another man's downfall like that, right, Cam?
Exactly.
No, he's got to celebrate, all right?
Just let me say this last comment, guys. Don't you guys think that it is amazing that an athlete can actually do this? He can convince, not like my voice is worth anything. Who gives a shit? But isn't it impressive that he can take on a challenge and completely change the perspective of how people thought of this guy? Legitimately. Up until yesterday, everyone thought Brook was a pussy. And now, not everybody, but perhaps a great majority of those people who thought that think completely a different point of view on the guy. Is that not does that not carry some weight?
It does,
Jose,
but if I could just add some context to that, but it's balls with a tinge of stupidity. So for me, the stupidity trumps the balls in the situation.
Let me just add on to that, Jose, because you're talking about Brook constantly, right? I don't think our criticism is necessarily towards Brook. We're just questioning his motivation behind it, and that's more the business side of things. I don't really. I was the first person to say, okay, because this he said this a couple of months ago, right? When Khan was announced to fight Canelo. Brook told Hearn, oh, give me Golovkin, and we fucking laughed at that. We did that on the show, right? We said, fuck this guy. He's talking out of his ass. He proved us wrong, and I'll give him those props. He's taking the fight, but my end of the criticism is more towards Triple G. I don't give a shit if Brook gets knocked out. If anything, I'm going to enjoy it. But it still doesn't mean that the fight is good, and it still means that Triple G's career at 34 years old, it's just not moving forward, and he's such a likable guy, and I want his career to flourish, but this is beating up a welterweight just looks bad, dude.
But it's still Kimo, to your exact point, it's a smart, intelligent business decision. He's going to be in front of so many more eyeballs fighting Brook than he would be fighting anybody else. Right?
Yeah.
Or do you not, it's smart business, man. It's easy business, perhaps, but it's smart.
He's going to make a name for himself in the UK.
At the same time, though, I think this would be more forgivable if it was maybe like 2 fights ago. A couple of, no-name Golovkin opponents ago, as opposed to right now, with regards to the precedents that both these guys have set, where Brook hasn't really done a whole hell of a lot since Porter, and Golovkin hasn't done a whole hell of a lot since, I don't know, Murray, maybe?
Well, it's on Triple G now to do what he has to do, which is take care of business, get more famous, and then he's got to do what Brook just did and what Khan did before him. He's got to take the giant challenge, and he's got to fight Ward or Kovalev, right? Unfortunately, that's the way boxing is, man. It seems like it's going to be a series of mismatches where people are going to have to challenge themselves because the people at the weight that should fight aren't doing it, right?
By and large, yeah, you're right to a certain degree.
Given the way Golovkin's team is handling his career, I mean, what are the odds of him going up in weight? I mean, this isn't giving him any confidence, Jose. You know what I mean? I don't know how much money they got offered for this. Maybe it was, they obviously have to take the deal because they're getting a shitload of money to knock out somebody smaller than them. But God damn it, man! I just want to see the guy in a competitive fight. This is getting ridiculous at this point.
You do know that a couple months ago, when asked of Kell Brook as a potential opponent for Triple G stated that he was too small.
He actually said that.
Did he say that?
I remember that.
Wow.
Yeah, but there's really not much difference between Brook and Canelo, guys, really. Who do you guys think wins between Brook and Canelo?
Canelo.
Yeah, but that's comparing apples to oranges here.
No, it's apples to apples.
Canelo still hovers around
Listen, I've heard people say that Brook would be a tough fight for Canelo.
There you go.
It doesn't fucking matter because Canelo still hovers around the same weight division, and for a certain time period, he was holding a 160-pound WBC belt. It's as simple as that.
But really, he beat a small guy. He beat Cotto. You don't think?
I understand that.
I think Brook could beat Cotto. Man, I think, like, right now, I think, like, Abe could beat Cotto. You know what I mean?
Jesus, talking about triangle theories, my man. That's...
So, why not? Give him a shot. If we were okay to watch Canelo, fight Triple G, why not let Brook do it?
Why not? I don't see why not.
And I guess this is why Cam doesn't take my calls, man. I totally went down the wrong road, I guess.
Yo, Jose, so you're going to Postol Crawford?
100%, man. Hey,
right, man.
Let's hopefully Rob Palmer. You guys obviously know Rob Palmer, right?
No,
I don't know what that is.
You guys, he's a coalition guy, right, Cam? He's been following the show for years, right?
No, I've never heard of him.
No,
He's on the chat and stuff. Oh man, you guys just set me up bad. Jeez, I was about to give him a nice shout out, man. You guys are mean. Anyway, we should get Rob Palmer there too. He's a UK boy. He's from England.
Of course I know Rob. Yeah, okay, Rob, if you're listening, come out. I heard you have a very... Jose told me that he has the most supportive and loving wife in the world. Is that true?
100%. Just so you guys all know, like, when he's on the radio and he's making calls to different podcasts, his wife actually listens to his calls and she'll listen back to them after he's done and she'll give him positive feedback on his calls and stuff. So how do you guys like that? It's pretty cool, eh?
Sounds like my mom.
She's giving him bad feedback then.
Yo, you guys are terrible.
My mom is. She says, Daniel, good call, Daniel. Thank you, Mama.
All right, boys. Anyway, hogged up the line enough, man. Love you guys, and honestly, I'm going to do everything I can to be there in September. So hopefully we can all get together, and hopefully you guys will agree that this fight's at least worth watching, right?
I'm not going to this bummy fight.
Jose, I was actually entertaining the idea of going to Eubank.
Let's do it.
Triple G.
Oh, Eubank, no, man. Eubank's bomb. This is a good one. I like this one.
All right, man.
All right, boys. Peace, all right? Take care.
Peace, Jose. Thank you. All right, question to the guys remaining on the line. I've been a bit out of touch with the boxing news today. Does anyone know why the Eubank Triple G deal has kind of fallen through? Is it just Senior being too obstructive in the negotiations?
Yes.
I'll give you the answer that Eddie Hearn gave on Sky. So take that for what you want. But he basically said that they offered him the same, basically pay-per-view terms that they would offer to a Anthony Joshua or to a Carl Froch or whatever. And they wanted basically control over the broadcast, over the undercard, over the commentators, pretty much everything, over the promotion.
Wait, Eubank wanted control over all that?
Yeah. Again, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what Hearn said. This is what Hearn said on Sky News. And that's basically what he said. He said they were offered standard, terms that they normally offer, but they wanted so much more than that both Hearn and probably, the other party as well just were like, fuck it. But I don't think it even reached the Triple G camp. I think Hearn already pulled the plug on it, probably. That's the way it sounded like.
And I know Eddie Hearn is a snake, but I tend to believe him when you say something that publicly and something that's so scathing. You don't just make that kind of shit up.
Yeah.
Well, it is technically his own fire, right?
Shit like that.
Exactly. You don't sabotage your own fighter if it's not true. That sets such a terrible precedent that no decently intelligent person would ever think of doing that.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the Eubanks.
That's not even some shit that you could really make up either. Like if you going that far with it, like commentators and shit.
No, they had a lot of, and then they have. I mean, people were already saying this in advance, right? A lot of people on Twitter and shit were saying, Eubank Senior is going to go fucking crazy and make all these nutty demands, and it's not going to happen, which is pretty much, according to Hearn, what happened. So I think the deal just pretty much fell apart from Hearn and Sky side, and yeah, that's when
English is the most dangerous manager in boxing.
I mean,
he's not even a manager, though, right? I mean,
exactly. He's asking for all of these responsibilities. He thinks just because he wears a fancy ass suit, a nice fucking hat, and some fucking glasses, that you're suddenly a promoter. Get the fuck.
So, do you guys think now the bridges?
Showing up looking like Mr. Peanut.
Do you guys think the bridges have been burnt now, and he's gonna maybe have to look to like Golden Boy or Heyman as his next venue, because as his next venture, because he's kind of burnt his bridges with Hennessy, he burnt it with Warren. It just seems like
possibly. I mean, hey, and I wouldn't even mind it. Fuck it, throw Eubank in there with Jacobs or Saunders or somebody. I don't know.
It's crazy.
No,
but Cam, they have a 4-fight contract, right?
Yeah, but they had the contract before, and there was stipulation that if Hearn didn't get the fight for the British title, that they could leave. So they might have some shit like that. They seem like guys that have very random clauses in contracts.
Well, Hearn didn't sound too negative about it. He just said, I've worked 3 weeks on this fight, and they're asking me for crazy shit, and they thought it was just a bluff with the deadline that I gave them, because we got to meet that. We're dealing with a lot of people. Didn't happen. The Brook fight got made, and he said, I'm not completely hopeless about it. He said maybe we can get it done after the Brook fight or something like that. He wasn't overly negative towards the Eubanks. He just basically stated that their way of negotiating contracts is just absolutely fucking ridiculous, and you can't make a big fight like that. So
the funny thing is, like Warren said the same thing about them. He said they're just unable to negotiate with. They just want everything on their side, but. Just trying to be a bit positive. I did love the randomness of the news today, and for the past couple of weeks, people be saying, "Oh, what's happening with Golovkin and Eubank, and why is Vargas and Brook taking so long? Brook's ducking, all that randomness." And today, this fight gets announced from just out of left field. It's refreshing, man. It's nice when. I saw people tweeting Hearn this week saying, you should kind of keep the fights under wraps instead of coming out straight away, because they kind of said that Vargas and Brook was made ahead of time. They didn't officially say it, but every Kugan Cassius video he does, he always kind of like, oh, we're looking into this fight, we're negotiating. So you kind of you're aware of the fights before they get made, but this one just out of left field. So I wish more fights get made like that, where that's why we were kind of excited. That's why we done a random show today, because we're just all kind of just amazed by, some people are disappointed with the fact with Triple G's fighting Brook, but it's nice to have randomness in boxing sometimes.
I don't like this
Yeah,
kind of
it's
randomness.
nice. Go on, Dan. Sorry.
Not this kind of randomness.
No, I understand that.
This is like TMZ type of bullshit. Not what I'm a fan of. It's not a good look for the sport, man.
This is some like Adrian Broner getting stopped at like customs for like jewelry and stuff and carrying too much money.
Yeah. This is like Adrian Broner posting videos of himself taking a shit at a Popeyes type of shit, I'm not into that. And let me just clarify, I mean, I'm still a Triple G supporter, and I'm not necessarily bashing Triple G again because, like people have mentioned in the chat, it's the reason why we're getting Kell Brook is because all of these other fucking fighters are just ducking him left and right, but I just put the onus of the blame on his management. Why would you greenlight this fight? Just because I understand that it's so much easier for this fight to take place because you pretty much set up the framework of a contract with Eubank, with Eddie Hearn, obviously. I know that makes it easy, but that doesn't mean, it's right. And I don't know. We get Dominic Wade, and now we get Kell Brook. It's just, I mean, if you're an avid Triple G supporter, you have to be really disappointed with his level of opposition.
Adil For Real in the chat made a good point earlier. He said that, this is great exposure for Triple G in the UK, albeit, it's he's bringing a small guy up, but it does expose him to, the British fans and possibly line up future British opponents, be it, Billy Joe or Eubank or De Gale if he steps up or whatever. So I think in that way it is quite positive.
But, I mean, is it the right way, though? I mean,
No,
how exactly do you sell this fight? How do you advertise this fight?
It's not the right way, but maybe I'm being a bit biased because it is in the UK and it's a fight that would be, if I could get tickets, it would be relatively easy to go to. Just, spend 2 days in London or even just one night in London and, meet up with friends and other boxing fans. So I am being a bit, thinking about myself.
Coalition meetup.
Exactly, man.
The thing is, I mean, I think the thing that we should take into consideration is that when Canelo did his pussy-ass move and dragged Khan all the way up to 155, Canelo's a young guy. He's 25 years old, so he still has so many years left to rectify his wrong. And secondly, Canelo isn't as good of a fighter as Triple G is. And the difference for me is that Gennady is, 34 years old now? I think he's only got about 2 to 3 years left of fighting at the level that he's currently fighting. He doesn't have any time right now to fuck around anymore.
One thing I wanted to add as well, Cam, about this, and I wanted to say that when Jose was on, what Jose said, I've heard people say this a lot of times about, for example, the Khan-Canelo fight, and they talk about, oh yeah, but you don't know what's going to happen because Khan was doing well in the first 4 rounds. Dude, as soon as fucking Canelo started landing his body shots, that fight was over. I mean, if you look carefully at that fight and you look at the effects of the punches, which is fucking obvious because you're dealing with a guy that's much bigger than you. I mean, that fight was over, dude. If you look at the effect of the punches, it completely changed Khan's body language, and you could see like he just can't take this, and it's only a matter of time. You can set the clock on it. It's gonna happen. And I'm not one of these guys that said, oh, Canelo was getting outboxed. I mean, that was maybe like 1 or 2 rounds. After that, and in that case, you're dealing with a fighter that's kind of passive. Canelo always likes to just lay back a little bit, counterpunch, see what the vibe is in the ring. That's not Triple G. And like Lim said, you're dealing with somebody who's elite. You're dealing with somebody who's established. You're dealing with a technically sound fighter. I mean, there's just no fucking way that you should be moving up 2 weight classes to fight this guy. It's just not legit. And another thing I also said beforehand is like, you can take this fight, but if you get knocked the fuck out, that changes the way that your career is going to develop. And that was, I mean, Cam, you can reminisce this on air, when Khan got hit with that shot, it's not a regular shot, dude. That's a fucking big ass right hand from a fucking huge dude, which does, massive damage to you. And if that happens to Kell Brook, then what?
Bro, why are you making
if
me
he gets-
relive bad memories live on air?
I'm just.
But think of the bad memories. We still have the great memories of confounding or just hugging each other afterwards.
But the point I'm trying to make is like there's a lot of people said it's a win-win situation, and then they're gonna say the same thing about Kell Brook. I don't think it's not that, dude. It's not a win-win situation because if you have basically zero chance of winning, what are you gonna gain from it? People are gonna praise you because you're brave. This is boxing, you don't win with fucking bravery.
People did the same thing after Khan, though. Like the amount of props he got afterwards.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Ken?
Sorry. People did what?
People praised Khan afterwards. Did people not praise Khan afterwards? I didn't agree with the praise, but people were saying, "Oh, he's brave and he took a shot. He dared to be great and all that bullshit." But did people not say that?
I saw the biggest barrage of internet trolling and memes across Twitter about Khan laying on the floor. Like I didn't really think that people were praising him.
No, I did see a lot of negativity.
No, I agree. I think you guys are both right, but I do think Kimo is a little bit more correct in that I think that aspect of the knockout response outweighed the positive that came with it. That's why
even if they were praising him, what does that gain Khan? I mean, it's just
exactly, and that's why when Khan Canelo got announced, I knew, to me, the idea that it was a win-win situation was preposterous. I mean, because of the final result of him getting knocked the fuck out, and that meme or GIF or that 5-second clip will be forever etched in history from the result of that fight. That's all that people are going to remember.
I just remember that meme of Khan lying on the floor and then you see his soul like going up into the sky.
The one that you sent me, you bastard.
That was fucking horrendous, dude. But
yeah,
I mean,
take his whole soul away.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, this is what you get. There's weight classes in boxing for a reason, and if you can try to be brave, but you can't do it, just randomly like that. You got to build that shit up. For example, like Pacquiao did, go gradually up, or just get some more. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
And just get more experience against bigger guys. But you can't just jump from welterweight to the number one guy at middleweight. That's preposterous.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into altering your training camp and just the way that your body responds to that added weight. It's a particular science that you can't expect to accommodate within a single training camp. It just doesn't happen. And I think people are misguided a lot of times. They think, oh, the added weight, it's going to make me faster, stronger. It's going to make me a better athlete. But your body takes so much time to adjust to that added weight, and sometimes the fact that you have to kind of hover around a specific weight to get to a specific weight class, like your body is just so used to that. And when Kell Brook has been fighting at that weight for about, I don't know how many years now, but his body is going to be shell-shocked. When he's walking around at 160, fucking the entire training camp.
I would disagree with you if it was him just moving up to 54, but for it to be that big of a stretch, I do kind of see where you're coming from, Lim, because I do think that, the 13 pounds, it's not just a simple fact of, okay, I can eat just a little bit more, I don't have to strain myself, like killing myself as much to make the weight. Now it's like, well, there's a different, entirely different balance between not necessarily having to cut, but also having to try to maximize functional muscle in terms of, being able to move and still be explosive and stuff like that with regards to trying to compete with Golovkin on a physical level. That, especially with somebody like Golovkin, somebody that's that brutal, I think it probably would take, a couple of camps at least.
All right, say I'm wrong. Okay,
this is like some Rick Piana shit, right?
Exactly. I command you to grow!
Alright, another question, guys. Say I'm wrong and Brook doesn't pull out injured and the fight actually takes place and happens. Does Triple G just, mess about with him, carry him a couple of rounds and then take care of him, or is it just seek and destroy from round one?
I think he carries him. I think he's going to be laughing at his punching power. And I think it's going to be a packed house, right? In the O2 arena, there's going to be a massive audience. And he's a showman, he likes to put on a show. So I think it will be, he will try to make it gradual, but like Lim said, I would not be surprised if he throws a left hook, which he just doesn't, miss time on purpose, and he fucking knocks him out, like that could very well be possible. So
Wasif one alluded this to the chat, but I feel like Kell Brook should be able to take as many steroids as he wants. And say, for example, if he still survives by the beginning of the 6th round, he can use a machete. He can bring a knife into the fight. And if he's still surviving after 9 rounds, he can carry like a samurai sword or something. I feel like it's that much of a
I'm
move.
going to pull out my machete. And I'm going to cut him.
That's terrible. That was like That was Manny Pacquiao.
What the fuck was that?
That sounds like Manny Pacquiao with Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Like Manny Pacquiao 40 years down the road after he's taking too many punches from his fellow senators.
Oh shit!
That's,
Brook's
Manny
not very
Pacquiao
good with knives, though, man. He shouldn't resort to that.
Okay, well maybe something.
Yeah, Golovkin, I think, is going to try to carry Brook, but I don't think it's going to work, man. I think he's going to do some real damage to him. Matter of fact, I think him trying to carry Brook is probably going to do even more damage than he otherwise would if he just went up for the knockout.
That's Manny Pacquiao after 12 rounds with Triple G, man.
Cam, are you planning to go to this fight?
Yeah, just ticket dependent, but I definitely would go if I could get tickets.
But you're shitting on the fight, though. Why would you go?
Just as an event, I think. There's rumors that
you want to see that demise. You want to see Brook's demise.
Obviously that, but there's rumors that Choco is going to be on the undercard, so it'd be great to see him live.
Oh, really? In the UK?
Yeah, there's rumors about it. I've not 100% read any confirmed reports.
I think that would be kind of a waste, especially if he was going to fight Quadras. It doesn't make sense to have him fight a dude that's really an LA opponent in the UK.
It might not
if you went over there...
Ito, mate. It's Chocolate Ito.
Chocolate Ito. It might not be Quadras, or it might be just someone else in the interim, and then Quadras the next fight after that.
Yeah, true, but at the same time, it would probably wind up being a non-title fight because ain't none of the other champions available at the moment.
That's
at
true.
115.
But Kimo, off air, you and me were having a discussion.
Unless, who knows, maybe he'll dare to be great, jump up 2 weight classes and fight, what's the boy name? Lee Haskins?
You could. That's easy work for Chocolate Ito, but I doubt that would happen. Kimo, you and me were having a conversation off air earlier. You don't think this fight's that big in the UK? Or it wouldn't sell that well?
Well, I don't know how big Golovkin is in the UK. I'm kind of curious about that, to be honest. I know Hearn, it's in September, right? So he's got time to fucking promote the shit out of this. So he'll have a packed house, but, is it going to be like Frampton Quigg antics where it's going to sell out in half an hour? I seriously doubt it, dude. Brook's not that big of a draw, and they're doing it in London, and they're not doing it in Sheffield.
I think it will, because you have to remember, even when Frampton Quigg went on sale, there was probably only 4,000 actual tickets that went on sale to fans. There were the ones for Fight Pass, and there's the ones that the undercard guys get allocated. Then there's the main event guys, they get a lot more allocated. And then obviously you got StubHub, who's a partner to Eddie, they get their little share. So the day tickets go live, there's probably be only 5,000 available to the public, which can get snapped up in a matter of minutes.
What's the capacity of the O2?
I think it's around 20. It might be 19, something like that. That's
big, though, man. I'd seriously be surprised if that sells out as quickly as Frampton Quigg, and that had the fucking Irish contingency as well. Those motherfuckers were live on that day. They had a packed house as well.
Yeah, but look here though, those are small guys, Kimo. A lot of boxing fans don't really, look that low in the divisions. They look at that upper weight. So 160 middleweight, Triple G gets promoted well, not promoted, but he gets, Eddie Hearn does his magic and brings him over for press conferences, and all that shit. You know, you're the Hearn guy, man. You know how good he is.
No, I know how good he is, but I'm saying we were talking about actually getting tickets, right? So then you're talking about, okay, you know, you obviously if you want to go, you're going to get it on the day, and if you're going to get a Frampton Quick situation where, you know, the server is just overblown because you can't fucking access the site, you know, that's always difficult to deal with. But I can't imagine myself seeing that with Brook Golovkin. I could be seriously wrong, you know. I mean, I don't live in the UK right now, so I really wouldn't know. But as far as I thought, casual fans, you know, which is the majority of people that are going to go there, don't really know maybe who Golovkin is. I could be wrong.
I disagree. I think a lot of hardcores will come out to this fight just to see Golovkin live, because you might not get the opportunity to see him live again in the UK. So I think it's going to be one of those fights where the hardcores come out in droves.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Hamada's
maybe.
back on the line.
Let's see.
Hamada's back on the line. Let's get his opinion. Hamada, does this fight sell out quite quick, or
Which fight?
Golovkin Brook?
Yeah, man, it's gonna sell out. Gonna sell out quick still. Obviously, the matching casuals are gonna lap it up. The fight pass guys are gonna be up at 9 o'clock in the morning, ready to buy their ticket.
Hamada, do you think the hardcores will come out to this fight as well?
Yeah, because a lot of the hardcores hate Brook, innit? They want to see him get smashed.
That's true.
I would go, you know, if I can get a ticket, I would go, but I think it's gonna sell out, or not sell out, but you know, end up on StubHub and stuff like that.
Yeah,
as usual.
The only tickets available are overpriced and shit seats, and you're like, oh fuck that, I'm not paying that much. But I'm just saying.
Yo, Cam. Sorry, speaking of prices, another thing I forgot to mention. Hearn also said that the Eubanks demanded that the price tickets would basically be doubled, for example, as opposed to the seat tickets for Joshua.
The Eubanks.
That was another.
They're fucking crazy, Kimo.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's true again, but I can't imagine, you know, that English would demand that. I definitely can imagine that. But that was another thing he mentioned. So basically, every seat would at least be double of what they sell for AJ.
To me, that's just that's just them pricing themselves out of the fight, man. That's all it is.
I think that might be able to be used as like evidence for English being, you know, brain damaged from all of his hard fights.
From the start of this whole kind of negotiations and them like trading words on Twitter, I just had a feeling that Golovkin Eubank wasn't going to happen. I just knew from the start, to be honest.
I never believed it was going to happen. Obviously, think about it, like Eubank, the senior, the dad, never used to really take that many tough fights in his career. I mean, is he really going to throw his son in with Triple G? Like, it never added up, to be honest. And I know Leon's probably going to be raging right now because we're saying things about Senior. He loves Senior, but it's all for show, innit? They're just actors, innit? They just want to spark controversy and just stir the pot and just make people either hate them or love them, and it's all an act, man. He's not what people think he is. I hear people saying Senior's crazy. He's not crazy. He's just acting. It's all a show, man. And they were never gonna fight Golovkin. I didn't believe it for a second. A lot of people got sucked in, but obviously a lot of people got sucked in because if they did pull out like they have now, they look like complete idiots. Like you said, Cam, I totally agree, man. They just look for any way just to get themselves out of this predicament. And now, I think this morning he sent out a tweet saying they never received contracts or some rubbish like that. That's a load of rubbish, man.
And he's and on Twitter he's saying like, I've signed my bit, I've sent it back, and you know, like, it's just bullshit, man.
They said they never received a contract, which is kind of fucking ironic when your own promoter says that you did. You know, like, how stupid does that look?
Hamada, do you think like the Eubanks would possibly leave Hearn again for the second time and maybe go elsewhere, maybe Heyman or Golden Boy or some shit? Because they've kind of burnt all the bridges back in the UK, haven't they?
So, to be honest, I don't care, man. I don't like the Eubanks anyway, so they can fuck off. Or like,
nice and blunt. Anything else you want to add?
I just hate them, man. I can't stand them, man.
Hate's a strong word, man. Hate takes energy, bruv.
I don't know hate, yeah, but I just really dislike them, man. Like, yeah, I just dislike. Hate is a strong word. 'Cause to be honest, I'm not even bothered with boxing, anyways. But
yeah, on the Ari tip, man, you just can't be bothered.
Yeah, man, too much bullshit, man. But this, see, this is what it is about boxing. Just one announcement can just spark a whole load of just craziness, man.
I love it though. Like the last few hours have been amazing for me. Like I've had a big smile on my face.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Like I just since like 5 o'clock or something when I first seen it on Twitter, I was like, it's just going through my mind. Like, really, is it really happening? But I don't know, man. I'm still convinced it don't happen. I can see Brook pulling out or something, man. The only way it happens is Brook's gonna be on the roids hard, man. He's gonna be roided up.
He's gonna be roiding hard.
Gonna have to. Shit. I mean, otherwise he's not gonna go more than 4 rounds, I reckon, if he's not juiced to the gills.
Hey man, steroids can only do so much. You're still facing a much bigger man,
and you can't inject them steroids into his chin.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Brook's
always been a fragile guy, man.
When are these fuckers gonna realize that? When are these fuckers gonna realize that size actually matters, man? I mean, don't they spar heavier guys? Like, don't they realize that these heavier guys punch a lot harder? Like, certain times before I've sparred guys.
Whenever a lot of these fighters are sparring heavier guys, they're heavier guys that just ain't on that level. So it gives them a false sense of security, I think, actually.
Nah, but even when you spar heavier guys and you take a jab off them or you take a body shot off them, you feel it a lot more than when you spar guys your size or smaller. And it just doesn't make sense for me to see these guys actually take fights with these people. I mean,
mofos are forgetting there's weight classes for a reason.
Exactly, man. Trust me. I don't know, man. It's crazy, man. Brook's gonna get badly beaten up.
Right. How much of this do you think was caused by Khan? Do you think he's trying to like prove himself still after that Khan fight fell apart?
I think that's a major fact. That's a great point, Kimo.
Yeah, but this is
I heard somebody else say this.
This is much harder.
It is. It is.
The funny thing is,
well, in a way, he's trying to one up him in a number of ways. I mean, first off, fighting like the guy that's perceived as the man. Secondly, fighting the guy that at the full weight. And then, I guess, he's figuring if he wins the fight or whatever, then he'll have one up Khan like completely and like overwhelmingly, and it wouldn't even be close, technically.
Yeah, if Khan had a good chin, then I reckon him and Canelo would have been a much closer fight. But the fact that we all knew he's hiding glass, that, it's good. As soon as Canelo lands a good shot on him, it's over. But, like, if Brook was to fight Canelo, like, that would be a decent fight. That's probably 60-40, I'd say, in favor of Canelo. Maybe even a bit closer.
I'd say a bit further. I'd say like 75.
I'm with you, Cam.
I don't know, man. Brook's a 154-pounder, I reckon, boiling down to
you can't
47.
always just relate it on size, though. Like Brook's,
and Brook's got a skill. Man. Brook's got a good jab.
He has, but it's experience. Like, you look at his resume, and when has he ever needed to, like, grit his teeth and like actually work in a fight? Like, the only time is like the first Carson Jones fight, and that he struggled to get the win there. And the Porter one, but that's 2 fights out of 30-odd fights. It's not a good look, is it?
No, but I reckon he'd give Canelo a good fight. I mean, I don't know. I just don't rate Canelo as highly as other people do. So maybe that's just me.
True.
But Hamada, I mean, I also think you're talking about hiding glass. I think Brook is also hiding a little bit of glass, man. I mean, people. Nah, man. People tend to. I'm baffled by this because I was thinking about this yesterday. Like, people have really short-term memories when it comes to Brook. He beat up a couple of bums, and before that he beat Sean Porter. And he didn't really get hit in that fight. I mean, he just clinched him up, jab, grab, had a couple of right hands in there. That's it. Like he didn't get touched up in that fight, not so much. There were a few like clubbing right hands, but it wasn't a dog fight. And the one time he did have it, I don't like the way he takes punches, dude. He doesn't react very well to a punch. I mean, you can't say that Brook is a very durable guy, and his nose always gets fucked up, dude. His nose always gets smashed. Like,
his nose is broken in that fight.
Yeah, but
Amada, do you remember when he got rocked by Sanchenko as well, just before he stopped Sanchenko?
But that was a tempo shot, man. A tempo shot can rock anyone. Anyone can get rocked with a tempo shot. I remember that.
Yeah.
But he recovered quickly and knocked him out.
Yeah, true. That's fair.
Yeah, but it's Sanchenko though, man. Like, come on.
That's a guy.
I don't think he's like Khan or whatever, but I don't think he's a particular durable guy, and he would need that trait if he's going up against Triple G, which he doesn't have, in my opinion.
Paulie Malignaggi stopped Sanchenko, but I think it was on a bad cut or some shit in the corner, and he stopped it in between rounds. Yeah. But still, though, you got stopped by fucking Paulie, man.
Sanchenko is nothing, dude.
Well, I mean, Paulie has glass hands, so those glass hands cut him up real easily. So styles make fights.
He glossed him.
Yeah. All right, should we start?
I was just checking because I was curious. Apparently, Brook, the IBF, they do those second day weigh-ins, like the morning of the fight. And can't be more than 10 pounds over. Apparently, Brook was 156.6 the morning of his fight against Frankie Gavin. So.
Oh, Nota, thank you for bringing that up, because Hearn mentioned on Sky something about a next day weigh-in. I don't know if that's the same type of restriction that you're talking about, like the IBF does, or it's some sort of rehydration clause. I don't know, because he didn't go into the specifics of it, but he mentioned that on the call.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that could be. It could be entirely possible that they might have done something like that with Golovkin, say like, you can't gain more than 10 pounds the morning of or something like that.
No, because Golovkin's IBF champion as well.
Oh, there you go. So maybe
obviously they do that rule, the 10-pound rule, isn't it, IBF?
Yeah.
But Golovkin's just going to be normal 170, 72.
Yeah, he's already in the 170 range in the first place. I mean, plus, even after they weigh you that morning, you can still gain a couple more pounds if you need to.
So Golovkin probably make weight today if he needed to. Golovkin would probably make weight today if he needed to.
Yeah, he tends to be disciplined with it anyway. It's not an issue for him.
He's like Hopkins in that regard.
Yeah.
Stays right. Close.
Let me quickly give props to the people that joined us in the chat on a random Friday show. Wasif 1, BRD Hey, PM versus Adil for Real, Nothing for Something, Mr. Dermo, and the new Overbruv, Shams 1000, Platsky Mash Joe's in there, The Creep, Brutal Deluxe, Marky Mark TMT, Steve Kim, Raphael $, Pinhead 360, and 11 guests. Thank you guys. Kimo, before we leave, do you want to have a few words about your great epic trip to New York?
Yeah, I'll talk quickly about it, man. It was fucking amazing, bro. Man, what can I say? I was welcomed with open arms there. I mean, Gil, Abe, Lim, Jose and his wife. I mean, Ness, everybody that I met over there. There's too many people to name, man. It was fucking awesome to meet everybody after years and years and years of talking shit over Twitter and over radio shows and podcasts. It was just brilliant, man. And I'm sure you can relate to this, Cam, because you did it the same a few months ago. It's like you've never met these people face to face in your life,
but
as soon as you meet them, it's like, it's like you've known them for years. It's very surreal, but really, really awesome at the same time.
Yeah,
it was a really, really great experience, and I went to the Boxing Voice Appreciation Day event as well, which was cool. And I also had a few people coming up to me giving props to the show, man. Guys like Raphael, Killer Shane, I mean, it's really awesome. Like I live across the world and I do this show with you guys once in a while. I mean, we used to do it a lot more, but it's really fucking awesome when you have somebody come up to me and be like, "Yo, man, I fucking love the show. You know, when I go to work or I'm in the subway or on my way to work, you know, it keeps my day going. Thank you, man. Keep it up." Like when you're in a place like miles away from home and you hear that shit, it's kind of awesome, man, and it's a little bit humbling as well at the same time. So, yeah, it was just fantastic, man. I got lucky as well with the fight. I mean, Porter Thurman lived up to the expectation. I didn't really necessarily go for the fight. Like, I just chose a fight just to where a lot of people would go and considered it more of a social event. But the fight was awesome, and the atmosphere in the arena, Cam, was fucking insane, dude. I didn't expect it, you know, because I thought, oh, PBC fight, you know, it's just going to be, you know, a bit anticlimactic like always, but it was wild, man. People were going crazy. I mean, we were going crazy. It was absolutely fantastic. And the venue itself, if you ever go to New York and you want to do a fight in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, absolutely go. I mean, it's just a brilliant venue. The seats we had were perfect, you know, and I think all around the arena, unless you're going in like the upper bowls, you get a fantastic view. It's I mean, it's obviously made for basketball, but I think with boxing, it's very, very suitable. And for the rest was just just hanging out with everybody, man. I mean, Gil was fucking awesome. He took me around to the Bronx and stuff like that. Hung out with the Puerto Ricans. It was just man. It really was like a once in a lifetime trip. But I do hope to do this more often, man. It is a long trip for me. It's 14 hours, but fuck, man, I'm not gonna lie. Going to a boxing event in the States is a whole different ballgame, man. That shit that's an event, and it's nice to meet people that are just as passionate about the sport as you are. So. Yeah, man. Thanks to everybody that I met up with. It was fucking brilliant, and maybe one day, man. StubHub is still on the bucket list, right, Cam? I mean,
it's still there.
That's. I mean, you and me both. That's still something we want to do, and I want to experience that as well, man. I want to go to like a fucking proper Mexican war in that venue. So we'll see, man. One day.
Kimo, two quick things. The Raphael in the chat, he's the Raphael that you met, so he's giving you props in the mix of the chat. Second thing is Shams1000 was asking, how did you score the fight, you know, Porter Thurman, and why were people booing Thurman at the end?
That was kind of strange to me, and I think it was more of a about the booing. I think that was more of like a sympathy thing. I think Porter won the crowd. When Thurman came in, he obviously got the biggest cheers, and Porter was actually being booed. But after the fight, yeah, they seemed to really cheer for Porter. He showed a lot of heart in that fight, and he took a lot of big shots, dude. I mean, looking at it from live, you could just see the sweat fly off Porter so many times. Like, he was just getting hit with these bombs, and he just kept on going, and he fought a lot better than he did in the past. I think people just sympathized with him. And I think people just, you know, he just won their heart over. And I don't think it was necessarily them scoring the fight for Porter, even though they might think because he was the aggressor that he should have won the fight. I think it was just more of, oh, my God, this guy gave it his all and he deserved to win. But that's not necessarily what's going to be reflected on the scorecards. I haven't scored the fight until now, basically because I don't give a shit. To me, it was such a special event and it was such a great fight that I don't need to score it. I've watched it again on TV, and I just enjoy it for what it is. But off the top of my head, I would probably give more rounds to Thurman. Especially watching it live, I saw a lot of clean hits, man. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm going to score. So
that's interesting, man, because I had Porter winning.
It's a close fight, Hamad, and it's again one of these things like, what do you score? I mean, Porter did a lot of good body work, and he did a lot of better body work than he's done in the past. I've criticized him for that, and he did properly go to the body, but there were just too many power punches that Thurman landed, in my opinion.
I actually had Porter winning wide. I had him winning 118, 110.
Nah, you're joking now.
That's absurd, man. I haven't seen that scorecard before.
I haven't even watched the fight yet.
Seriously? I bet you've watched like some
I've-
basketball games though, haven't you?
Yeah.
Nah, see,
He's sold out.
well over, man.
Bombada.
It's well over, man. I've been watching the Euros, man.
Yours is bummy as well.
Yeah, real bummy, man.
Yo,
It's like
guys,
a
are we
ma-
still
it's like
live or what?
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
Lim.
All right, guys. For my final thoughts, I just want to say shout out to the chat. It's been a blessed experience to talk boxing and just to have some friends that I can't see ever in person. And yeah, man, I'm just happy to be back. TBV for life, baby.
Well, you see me and Kimo, so
All right. Well, nonetheless, shout out to the Boxing Voice, and then we'll have our Boxing Coalition,
appreciation event.
event over at
Nando's.
Appreciation at Nando's for 200 pounds.
Yeah, 200. All right. Kimo, Naota, Hamada, any final thoughts?
Go on, Hamada. Dub Nation.
Dub Nation.
Oh shit! I thought you guys were trolling. I didn't know that we were live.
Yeah, we are
Oh,
live.
Naota.
man.
Oh, I
Where's
thought this
Naota?
was the post-end show.
Yeah. Nah, man.
Nah.
Final thoughts is just that. I guess some props to Brook for high risk. I mean, this is really high risk, high reward. I wouldn't even want to say it's necessarily low risk. I mean, it's low risk, I guess, in terms of the general damage you could do to his standing resume wise. But otherwise, I mean, even still, I think the trade off between that and the potential damage he could take in the ring is it evens out. So, I mean, props to him for that. And then Golovkin, this I guess this is just his way to get bigger paydays, bigger audience, and makes it so that I think those other fights may be more possible, because if he gets a big audience off of this, I think it'll make it so that he's able to offer some of these other opponents the bigger money that they're demanding from him. So I think and this might wind up turning out to be a good thing.
Hamada, anything final you want to add?
Yeah, Naota, I got a new favorite fighter. His name is CP Knockout Freshmart. What a name, man. That has to be the best name I've ever heard.
Yeah, man. You see his last fight?
No, obviously not.
Yeah, I think they get advertisements, Hamada, and they basically change their name. Like some of the guys change their name to the gyms, like Cookie Gym and all
Yeah.
that. So.
Yeah, his real name is Tamanun Nyamchong, but the Freshmart.
Yo, man, Naota, you got that pronunciation on lock, bro.
Yeah. Now CB Freshmart is obviously a grocery store chain in Thailand. So, but yeah, no, check out his fight. Check out his fight with Byron Rojas, man. Great fight. Great
I
fight.
saw
Two champions.
Runrung. You know Runrung's going to the Olympics.
Yeah. He's fighting at 132.
Wow. Like that's crazy, man. You reckon he's gonna do his dirty shit in the Olympics as well?
Do a body
I
slam.
think he'll try. I mean, clinching isn't quite as penalized. So
Yeah, but body slams are though.
yeah, that's the problem. Hey, he may body slam the ref. If he loses.
All right, thank you, Hamada.
No, but seriously, my real final thoughts is my thoughts is gonna be with Kell Brook, because obviously after the fight he's definitely gonna end up in hospital. I don't hope it happens to him, but just I can't see anything else happening. And it's Leon, man. Leon has taken a major L, man. Him and his boyfriends, the Eubanks.
Why are you hating on Leon so
major
much, man? He's your like London brethren, man. Come on.
Because Leon constantly sticks up for these gay fuckers, and he deserves to get bashed just as much as they do.
Kind of like you with Steph Curry, right?
Ooh. All right, let's move on.
This guy, man, Kimo, man, it's boxing, man. What are you talking about, man?
All right, Lim, I know you give your final thoughts, but what if one has politely asked for one McGregor impersonation?
I think he's gone.
Maybe he's gone. Kimo, you give us the McGregor then in his place.
Nah. If he beats Diaz in the rematch, I'm back on the McGregor hype train.
Ain't he fighting Floyd?
Nah. I'm bullshitting, by the way, because I'm McGregor for life, dude. But, on a side note, I'm reading also in the chat that the Tortilla Champs are going to make a comeback. I don't know if that's true, but shout out to them, man. That's a legendary radio show.
Shout out to that fucking bum Ruger. Nigga laying off more than Mikey Garcia.
Anyway, man.
Before we go, Frampton or Santa Cruz, who you lot got?
Leo.
I'm going Santa Cruz, man.
Nauta hates the UK guys.
Well, who we talking about?
Frampton versus Santos News.
Oh, Santa Cruz is gonna kill Frampton, man.
Nah, man.
The last few rounds, I think it's gonna be the last few rounds of that quick fight times 2 within about 7.
Nah, man. Santa Cruz get knocked out.
Nah, not even close.
He's gonna get caught while he's throwing.
Mars is better than Frampton, and Santa Cruz better than Quigg.
Hamada, man, those T-Rex arms, man, those T-Rex arms.
Mares is done, man. Mares is done, man.
Now he is.
He's done. Santa Cruz gonna get caught while he's throwing all these, while he's spinning his wrists.
Santa Cruz has one of the best defenses in the sport, man. It's really underrated. He's gonna catch a lot of that shit on his gloves, and he's gonna crack him to the body and fold him in half.
You know when Santa Cruz is spinning his wrist, Frampton's gonna come over with a left hook and knock him out.
Like he did with Cobrita.
Like he did with Avalos, your boy Avalos.
Yeah, my boy Avalos got wrecked by.
Let's not forget
by the
how
Filipino
to pick
cat.
Avalos to beat Frampton. You know that?
because he's a hater.
Yeah, that was just me being an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you.
Santa Cruz is gonna beat the shit out of Frampton.
You know, in all honesty, I think that Santa Cruz jab is going to be a problem, and he showed that in the Mares fight. I really hadn't seen him box like that before, man. I think that's going to be a problem. I think he might be able to push Frampton back with that, and it's going to be an issue, man. And also the volume and the work rate, man. It's those rangy punches. I don't know, man. It's a difficult task for Frampton, but props for him for taking the fight, though. I mean, it's a good scrap.
Nah, but Frampton's going to win. I think he's going to win. He's going to pull it off.
We will see, Hamada. Be back for your crow if he loses. Or are you joking?
Nah, no crow for me, man.
Kimo, any final thoughts?
I just saw a fucking funny ass meme about the Eubanks on Twitter, but yeah, man. My final thoughts are it's a bit of a circus fight, and I'm not too happy about it. But obviously, I'm going to tune in. But it is disappointing what's happening with Golovkin, man. So we'll see, man. Props to Brook, though. He proved me wrong at least, and he's got the balls to take a massive fight. So yeah, man, that's about it. Good talk to you guys again, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
Definitely. Thank you, Kimo, and thanks to everyone else that jumped on the show today. Thank you to all the people in the chat and all the people that download the show week in, week out. We'll be back on Monday. Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
Oh, dude, man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically banging, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the song, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos a Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in them.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
It feels great. Great.
Do we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass.
Just to play devil's advocate. You want 1 portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish.
Cringe side? But you won't rush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you?
He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you ate for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.